Welcome to MSU Inside Out. iMagicon visited Minot this weekend. More is coming up later.
And with sports, we're looking at hockey and soccer and much more.
At the KMSU Auction and a look at MSU Wrestling, we have a lot coming up right here on MSU Inside Out. Good afternoon and welcome to MSU Inside Out. As always, I'm Nolan Axton.
Alex Coleman.
Lots coming up on this show. We're winding down in the semester, and it's crazy to even say that, to think that there's only probably about 4 shows left after this one. Thanksgiving coming up quick. And yeah, it's another packed show.
You celebrate Thanksgiving with us?
It's actually just Thursday.
Just Thursday?
For us. Ours is back in October. But I get the day off, so usually go home. Well, we'll cook up a nice little turkey or something. But
as you said, still
stepping away from Thanksgiving, we still got a few weeks before we're there. Lots coming up on the show today. We get to talk about the KMSU Auction. We get to take a look at MSU Wrestling. All sorts of good things coming on.
Everything. So pretty
and
big
I know with all sorts of good things too, Alexis is standing by with a bunch of good stuff. What do you got?
Yeah, we got plenty of stuff. Obviously, it was just Halloween weekend, so some fun, different festivities went on in Minot, so I'm going to just tell you guys a few things about that.
All right.
Minot's first Comic-Con was set to energize those who have a passion for comics, gaming, sci-fi, and fantasy. Quinn Williams has more on the story.
Minot's first iMagicon looks to be a huge success. It kicked off last weekend bringing Titans, Assassins, and Stormtroopers out to get together and have fun. I even found Waldo, and then I lost him again. The con found support from many local businesses like Guerrilla Games and Barnes & Noble. Event coordinator Leanne Weber explains how incredible the talent in Minot is and how the con allows this talent to be expressed.
With Minot is we're able to showcase the great talent in Minot. You know, with Mike Cadu, they premiered their film that they created with Minot talent last night. Then we had ND Strong, who's also did a premiere a couple weeks ago, and they showcased their movie. And so there's a lot of great talent in Minot, North Dakota, and it's just letting that creativity flow and having an outlet for it.
So whether you like gaming, comics, or anime, MagicCon will have something for you. From KMSU Channel 19, I'm Quinn Williams.
iMagicon continued through Saturday till 9 p.m. To keep all the Minot State University students warm for the winter season, MSU Life is hosting an event to make tie blankets. This will happen next week, Thursday on the 12th in the Beaver Dam, beginning at 7 p.m. All the supplies are provided and are ready to go for all the students who show up with an MSU ID. Make sure to show up early to get in line so that you can guarantee yourself a cozy blanket for the winter season. Families were enjoying an artistic and haunting way to celebrate Halloween before trick-or-treating began. Margie's Art Glass Studio opened its doors to their Day of the Dead festival, complete with mariachi music, sugar skull folk art, and face paintings. Studio owner Margie Bolton brought the festival to Minot after she had witnessed it and was instantly attracted to all of the artwork. Bolton is keeping the theme traditional by decorating the studio with skulls and bright colors that honor those who have passed on. She says that many of the families that partake in the project use skulls as decorations for their homes to add a little extra spook to Halloween night.
Just the Latin American culture is just a very happy, bright, vibrant culture, and I want to celebrate that part of it.
Margie's Art Glass celebrates the Day of the Dead Festival every year at Halloween if you missed it this year. Minot State University's Division of Music will present a showcase concert November 6th at 3:30 p.m. in Ann Nicole Nelson Hall. MSU's choir concert, women's choir, concert band, and a variety of small ensembles will perform. The concert, in conjunction with the Northwest International Festival of Music, is free and open to the public. And that's all that we got today, Alex.
So speaking of post-Halloween activities, what was your costume?
I was a Ninja Turtle this year. It was pretty fun.
Which one?
Raphael, I think. Is
Angelo, where it's at. You already missed out, picked the wrong costume already.
I'm so sorry.
All right, thanks again, Alexis.
How about you? What were you?
Oh, I didn't dress up. I'm not the type of Halloween type of guy. I should have though. Next year, of course. Last year alone, the MSU Auction raised $11,000 and gave 10% to the Animal Humane Society. This year, our 17th annual auction, we plan on doing more, raising way more, setting the bar higher than ever. Here I'm with Jana McKechnie, and she is safe to say you're the ringleader of all this, right?
Yes, I am the ringleader. That's a good word.
So, 17th annual, how long have you been doing the auction?
This is my 5th consecutive year of doing it. Back when the auction first started, I was part of those also. So I have a long history with the KMSU auction.
For those that aren't really familiar with the KMSU auction, what would you define it as?
Well, it's one of the biggest fundraisers that the campus has, and it's kind of a QVC meets eBay style auction, live auction that we do on TV. It's a completely student-run production, from getting the donations to the night of the event to production to everything that happens. You said it's entirely student-run. How do you prepare students to take down this beast of an auction? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for students who take the class, but they're in charge of getting all of the donations. They're in charge of contacting the businesses. They're in charge of any of the video and stuff that runs the night of the auction, the production of the auction, so all of the camera work and everything that happens the night of. It's completely student run. We're there to help and to aid in any way that we need to be, but it's their project. So it's safe to say like this is extremely beneficial for students, particularly in the broadcast major, the experience. It's wonderful for broadcast students, but it's a good learning experience. It's real world experience. It's making a phone call and making a contact and being accountable for those businesses that you are in charge of, and also to your classmates. I think it's one of the, and I could be a little biased, but I think it's one of the most beneficial classes that the broadcasting department offers. What would you say to some of the businesses that might be interested in being a sponsor or being a donor for this year's auction? We have such wonderful community support from Minot. The businesses are very generous with everything that we do on campus, and especially the KMSU auction. But there's still time to donate. If anybody is still interested in doing that, they can sure contact the broadcasting department here on campus or myself, or any one of the students in the auction. We have just over $24,000 in donations this year already, so but every bit we can get helps. Each year, as you said, a certain portion of the amount you guys raise go to a community. Like last year was Animal Humane Society. Yep. What is this year's? This year the class decided to give the proceeds to Project Ignite Light, which provides backpacks and jammies and some toiletry items depending on the age range for children who are taken from their homes rather abruptly. So whether it be a domestic violence issue or a custody issue or something like that. So it provides that. And then the other portion of the money that we donate will go to Backpack Buddies, which supplies food for underprivileged children in the community. So both of those charities really benefit Minot. So you guys are also a non-profit organization? Yep, So it is a nonprofit, so that their donation is tax deductible, and it goes to a good cause. Like everything that we do, we raise from that money. It either comes to the department and we get some new equipment, or it sends students to conferences, or and we do try to donate every year to a cause that is near and dear to our hearts. So you've been doing this for 5 years, as you said. What is some of your favorite, packages that you've done so far? Some of your favorite, craziest things you've seen so far come through? A couple of years ago, we had a wrestling guy on that went, he was in full character, and he just kind of went a little crazy. But it was so entertaining just to see, that that's the role that he plays and that's what he does. And we've had TVs, which are really fun, and we've had iPads, and we've had tires, and we've had all kinds of stuff. We've really been very lucky with what businesses are willing to donate to us. Do you have any tips that might be included in the packages this year? Any surprises? Tune in and watch is what I want to tell them. There's wonderful stuff. Again, the YMCA donated a year membership, and jeepers, there's the different food restaurants in town. We have a bunch of hotel stays, some birthday party packages for kiddos, and some different things like that. And then there's always, just the fun stuff that we get to do. There's girls packages, and there's car packages, or there's sports packages. And the university is wonderfully helpful for us also. They donated a $1,000 tuition waiver And that has to be somebody that lives on campus, but it can go to, you know, any MSU student that they want to, which is wonderful. And the different departments on campus, we have a lot of Minot State stuff this year, which is fun.
Obviously, it's for a good cause, for Backpack Buddies and Project Ignite Light. So what do you get out of this as a personal joy? Just
the night of the auction is one of my favorite days of the year. It's so fun for me now being on this side of it to help teach the class, to see it all come together and to see all of their hard work be realized, that they get to see that they raised $10,000 or they raised this much money, and they did it. So they did the phone calls and they did the legwork, and it's really just, it's an exciting night.
Do you have any tips for the bidders that's going to be watching?
Call often and call early. You know, we do have the 4 phone lines the night of the auction, and they light up quickly. And we have lots of people that are, oh, I wish, you know, I tried calling and it was busy. So that's my, call early and call often.
So once again, the auction is December 3rd at 6:30 p.m., Channel 19, and it's also available live stream, correct?
It is, yep.
For those who have SRT, Mid-Continent, so.
Yep, Mid-Continent and SRT can watch on their TVs, and then anybody with Dish or Direct TV, anything like that, can all watch it on there.
You have to give at least one hint. What might be one of the biggest packages this year? There's a lot back there.
There is a lot of stuff that we have back there. You know, the Y membership is always a hot item. Dakota Fence did a $500 gift certificate for fencing. There's some birthday party packages, even though those are, I've got little kids, so those are the ones I look for.
So once again, thank you again, Jana. Watch the auction December 3rd, Channel 19, 6:30. So it's definitely one of the biggest events for Minot State. So still more to come. We have a weekend weather forecast. I think it's going to be a great weekend. It's 50s all weekend, and it's November, so it's kind of rare. As well as sports, women's soccer takes on Augustana, like for the playoffs. That's on tomorrow, November 6th. Cross country goes on the regional championships, and football they don't rack up the weekend. It's a game before the last game. So that's against Crookston, and volleyball takes on St. Cloud. Now let's get into our underwriters.
Thank you to all of our underwriters.
All-American Trophies for all your custom screen printing and embroidery needs, located on South Broadway.
Art Main, women's clothing, accessories, and art supplies. 13 Main Street South.
Buffalo Wild Wings, sports, great beer, and food located on South Broadway across from Walmart.
Digital Office Center, technology solutions for every business need, located in Minot and Bismarck.
MSU Beaver Hockey. Visit us online at msubeaverhockey.com or on Facebook and Twitter.
MSU Athletics, NCAA Division II, promoting good character and a positive experience. Red Rising.
Red and Green, Minot State's official student-run newspaper.
Midwest Oil Jobs brings employers, retailers, and other professionals from the Midwest to connect under one roof.
Bridgeford Construction LLC, for all your concrete needs, residential and commercial.
Jacobson Music, a family-owned music business with 3 retail locations in Dickinson, Bismarck, and Minot.
Pepsi, the local Pepsi-Cola bottling company serving the North Dakota areas of Minot, Dickinson, Devils Lake, and Bottineau.
Fiancé Bridal, located in downtown Minot, and now you can shop online.
Watney Realtors, full-service real estate agencies handling residential, commercial, and investment properties. You can visit them online at minothomes.com. Watney Realtors Carrie Montoya, located on Northwest Broadway.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer, located at the Beaver Ridge Plaza.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream. Good times to be together.
KYYX-FM 97 Kicks, today's hot new country.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
KIZZ-FM Z94, Minot's only station for today's hit music.
KZTR-FM 105.3 The Fox, Minot's rock station.
KRRZ 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KXMA Mix 99.9, Minot's best music mix.
MSU Art Department, stimulating creativity campus-wide by providing exhibits and art events.
Pita Pit, fresh thinking, healthy eating, located on South Broadway.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
iHeartMedia, providing multi-platform advertising and marketing opportunities for partners and world-class entertainment for listeners.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican cuisine, fresh and fast.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out. Again, I'm Nolan Axton.
Alex Coleman.
Pretty good first half of the show. It was pretty busy. It was kind of cool to hear a little bit about the auction that's coming up. I know that's a big night right here in this very room, actually.
Usually the guy that does that too, so you know all about it.
I was talent last year. Yeah, it's a busy night. It's exhausting. I was talking with producer Neil before the show, and I said we need a water mule because you go through so much water as talent that night, your mouth gets really dry. But it's exciting, and it's all for a good cause. So it was pretty cool to hear a little bit about that. But going on to more on the show, there's a lot more coming up. I know we have sports.
And you have a pretty big interview coming up as well. So.
But sports, they're pretty big too. Soccer, big night for them last night.
Oh, it was a great night, especially after Bemidji's coach got a little rowdy with the crowd. Wasn't a pretty night for him, but you know, it was playoffs. You got to expect a little bit of a rowdy crowd. So, yeah. But they're actually later in my cast. I'm going to start with hockey.
All right.
Minot State hockey is known for winning by a large margin, but it takes a lot of hard work to do so. This week's player profile looks at one of the hardest working players on the ice.
Well, McDevitt, when I talk to my scouts, the number one thing is hardest working player on the ice. I mean, he's one of those kids that works hard every shift, every practice, brings a great attitude all the time, and he's very versatile. And as evident in him and Coles, I mean, two players that play all scenarios with our program. And so he plays a vital part with killing penalties and playing on the power play. And you know what? He's one of those kids that's hard to play against, and because he makes it a point for himself to be the hardest kid on the ice.
Head coach Wade McGeer also says he's happy that McDevitt is playing for him and not against him.
You know, he's certainly a very special player. He is very fun to watch, and he was as advertised. My scout said he's going to be the hardest working player on the ice for both teams, and he brings that energy. And you know what? Nothing really phases him. He plays a physical style with some edge, and you know, we're just glad he's on our team.
But how did this hardworking player get started? By rollerblading in grocery stores with Grandpa.
Honestly, I think it was my grandpa when I was younger. Rollerblading all the time.
New line mate Parker's Evan Campbell is happy to have McDevitt on the ice with him.
It's been good. Both Olsen and Evan have a lot of energy. They're skilled players, and I'm not afraid to get into dirty areas here, so it helps me out that way. I'm not doing all the work or whatever. It's been good.
Campbell also says he likes how hard McDevitt works on and off the ice, and can't believe how easy he is to play with.
He's just a hard-nosed working guy. He's very fast. He knows good heads-up plays, and he's easy to play with.
Hardworking and easy to play with, it's hard to say that Brett McNevin is not an essential part of the Beavers hockey team.
It's Friday as they take on third-ranked Colorado University. Game time is at 7:30 at the Mesa Arena. Minot State Soccer tried not to freeze in their playoff run last night as they took on Bemidji State in a heated contest. Minot State would get the score going with a goal coming from Ninja Ramirez. But Minot State wasn't done yet. Ramirez would find love in front of the net for the second goal of the night. But Bemidji would cut the lead in half, taking their first goal of the game in the second half. The game would go back and forth until Minot got a corner kick in the 75th minute, where Emily Rebello would bury the rebound to make it a 3-1 game. Minot State would hold the lead and win the game, pushing them into the semifinal rounds against Augustana. Game time is set for tomorrow at 11 a.m. You can catch the action at msubeavers.com or in the Beaver Dam at 11 tomorrow. Minot State's women's basketball was in action last weekend, and it was a showstopper for an exhibition game. Minot State University Carrie Clements knocked down a three-pointer to send the game into overtime. The Beavers took over from there. The Minot State outscored the University of Regina 15-4 in overtime to run away with a 108-97 win in NCAA Division II women's basketball on Sunday in the Dome. It was the second and final exhibition game for the Beavers. You can catch your Lady Beavers in action next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, as they take on Pittsburgh State University. And you know, guys, I would have talked about wrestling, but you're going to talk about wrestling with Zach.
I am going to talk about wrestling, but first I want to hit on a little bit more. There's also a lot more sports going on this weekend right here. We got volleyball on Friday and Saturday. Football's out of town. They're in Crookston as their season winds down. So it's pretty busy weekend for Beaver Athletics this weekend.
Always is. I mean, this is going to be a great chance for MSU football to get back on that winning streak. Crookston hasn't been playing that well for the last couple games, so hopefully they can get back onto that.
Yeah, it'll be a good contest for them. But Thanks, Chris, for the sports. But again, as I mentioned, with fall sports winding down, the winter sports are starting to kick off. And luckily enough, I'm joined by none other than Zach Cummings, a junior in the math education program and also a member of the Minot State University wrestling team. Zach, thanks a lot for joining us. I know you were busy. You snuck away from practice today, so thanks for doing that. But getting towards into the season, you guys are getting ready to go. How's the team look in a whole so far?
Well, as of right now, the team looks pretty good as a whole. We've all came together. This year from last year we lost a couple of guys last year, and we brought in 13 new kids. I think right now roster we have about 26 kids, so half of us are new. I think this year we've came together and we're working hard together, and I think there was more of a team, family bonding right now going on, and with that, I feel like the team's growing better and quicker than it would in the past, and with this, I think we're ready to start our season.
Now, you mentioned the roster, 26 guys on a roster, but there's only so many weight classes. So when you go to a duel, is there certain people that will fill the spots in the weight class, or is everybody eligible to wrestle?
Well, we'll have some people redshirt, myself and a couple others. But there's 10 weight classes, starting at 125 and go all the way up to heavyweight. We will take, we'll take everybody and everybody will weigh in, and then, just like any other sport, you just, whatever the matchup is, you try to get the best matchup on the mat and go for it.
All right. Also, you mentioned redshirting. I know you ran into a little bit of trouble last year. And that's your reason for redshirting. Can you tell us a little bit about what exactly happened and why you were forced to redshirt this season?
Last season I tore my shoulder out, and I wrestled the rest of the season with it and made it a little bit worse. And then by the time the summer came around, I got home and get the doctor, it was completely gone. And in August, I was talking to my doctor, and he decided to go ahead and get surgery since I did have a redshirt year. And I went ahead and had shoulder surgery in August, and I should hopefully be 3 months out now today, and I got 2 more months, and then get back on the mat and start practicing.
So you'll be back ready to practice after Christmas?
Yeah, I should be able to start practicing January 1st.
How is it tough to be out?
Well, just being out, you kind of while everybody else is practicing and stuff, and you're just sitting there watching, you kind of lose kind of a urge to go. But luckily I got a good coaching staff we have, and good teammates and friends here that keep me uplifted about the whole. Hey, come to practice. I serve a role at that point. They really help a lot, and it keeps you up on your toes and stuff, like the things that they have me do, from helping people with classes to recording to keeping score to anything they need. Then I'm willing to help, and just to keep me involved.
Now, you mentioned the coaching staff. It's a good coaching staff. It's also a new coaching staff. How has the transition into that been for you and for the rest of the team?
I think what helps a lot is that, like I said earlier, a lot of us are new, half of us are new, so it's not like all of us, half of us this is what they know. They don't know nothing else besides, hey, this is what we have. And I think that's very good for us. There's not a lot of conflict. And a lot of people that are returning, we are all sophomores, juniors, seniors. We're all older, and we understand what's going on. That we're going to have to wrestle together and overcome the differences. And luckily, we have 40, and we have Kettler and Gatmeyer and Wilson that they have a good knowledge, and they've been all over the place with wrestling and everything else they've done. And they're bringing in a lot of outside information and techniques and ideas that I've never seen before, and a lot of other guys haven't seen before. And it helps, it just helps us take all that stuff, put it together, and then you can just become a better wrestler just out of it.
So it's definitely a nice new look. Different because it's a new coach, but it's nicer to learn new things and have a different technique of going.
The good thing is 40, you got John and Wilson and Gatmeyer, they're all anywhere from 133 pounds to 170, and it fits in. You got a whole different coaching staff that can work with anybody from 25 pounds to 70 pounds, and you got Wilson, Gatmeyer, and Keller that can work with anybody from 65 pounds all the way up to heavyweight. It's just you have enough little different techniques and styles that can work with everybody, along with, like I said, adding 13 who gets into the program. That's just a lot of different techniques, and you can just continue learning, and you have a new partner every day that you don't have to worry about knowing exactly what you're going to do. It's different every day.
All right, so you and the new coaching staff getting really close to season. you guys travel to NDSU next week?
Yes, next weekend we wrestle at the Boston Open, which would be in Fargo. I think we leave like on Friday. It's a Saturday tournament. It should be a pretty good tournament. Like there's a lot of tough competitions going to be. You have Fargo, and then you have NDSU will be there, and you have a lot of different schools from our conference and outside, and a lot of you have like tough Division III schools like Augsburg and Concordia will be there. So you'll get to see a lot of different competition, and it's going to be a good little opening weekend for us.
Okay, and your first home duel will be in December. You mentioned earlier, well, when we were talking before the interview, I guess. On to you now, though. You're from Alabama, moving to North Dakota. What kind of made you want to come up into the snow?
Well, the thing that made me kind of just come up here was more like just the fact that like it was something different. Like it was like I never like thought about leaving the South, and then like I had the opportunity to come here, and I was like, well, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can go and travel and meet new people and see different parts of the country for free. You know, like we're traveling and doing all these things and just meeting different people. That's kind of what brought me this way.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. And of course, their first home duel will be December 8th right here on the MSU campus at the Dome. Zach Cummings, thanks again for joining us. The junior math ed major on the MSU wrestling team wrestles in the 149-pound weight class. And we talked a little bit about weather, and hopefully that'll stay nice throughout the next week. As you look up at the screen right now, it is going to be a little bit nicer. Temperatures in the low to high 40s. Looking like we're going to hit 50 on Saturday, so it's definitely above average. Looking through the rest of the week, we're going to see 53 down to 44, so closer to the middle of the week, it'll start getting a little bit cooler, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any snow yet, so that's always nice to have. Alex, I know that you're not a fan of the snow. I'm not a fan of the snow, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any of the snow anytime soon, so
that works for me.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, not a fan of the snow. It kind of snowed this morning a little bit, but you know,
yeah, kind of a wet, sleety type.
Yeah, I didn't like
gross
it.
snow.
Actually, it's kind of funny because I'm from Colorado, so a lot of my friends send me Snapchats, and it's like snow everywhere there. So
yeah, up in the mountains. So
this is my first time I can ever say I'm happy to be in North Dakota right now. So
yeah, it's I know back home my parents were telling me the other day about how we were getting snow. So I'm hoping that stays away. They're a little bit farther west than we are, so hopefully it'll stay there for now. But all in all, a great show again today. Mm-hmm. Lots of good information on the auction. It was nice that Janet could come join us, and same with Zach Cummings as we just talked to. Thanks for him coming to join us. So thanks to both of our guests. Of course, if they come back at this time next week on Thursday, they get to see a whole new show. We'll be right here again.
Don't leave. We're always here.
Oh, yeah, well, never. Here. Familiar faces, the friendly faces. But yeah, so thanks again for joining us right here on MSU Inside Out. Our song of the week is Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Of course, you can hear that song and many others on this station during our radio hours, which is basically all day.
All day.
So again, thanks for joining us. I'm Nolan Axton. Wow. For Alex Coleman. Have a good day.